Hey everyone, it's Alex here from Radd.
Yo!
And we're here today and we're going to look at the XM Studios Star-Lord. We're going to go over it. We're going to give it a little 360 and we're going to measure it and let you know what you think. So keep watching, guys.
Yo, like Alex was saying, we're going to be reviewing the fresh out of the factory XM Studio Star-Lord quarter scale piece. Now, this was one of their made-to-order pieces, so that basically means that the edition size is not announced beforehand. They go on orders and then probably a little bit of a percentage up afterwards. This actually has an edition size of 350 pieces, which is absolutely ludicrous. This is the only Star-Lord in quarter scale form, and I think whoever has got this piece, whoever has took the time to order it, is probably sitting on a little bit of a windfall, because I think this is going to be worth some money down the line.
Well, we've seen it in the past with the Scorpion, Moon Knight, and a few other pieces where the old made-to-order came into effect and they had edition sizes around 300. Now, if you want to if you want to find a Scorpion, it's like 1500 plus.
I think you're right, and it's very nice. I mean, I arrived today; it was already set up. Alex has got it out of the box and put it together, and you know, wow. So what we'll do is we'll first show you what you receive with this piece. So you receive your standard. You know, with their comic book pieces, you get an art print, which my glorious assistant is holding up. Actually, one of their better art prints too.
I actually really like this, and this actually is the. I mean, there are only a few poses on this one, but this is actually a really good pose that they've decided to use in the print. There is a few times in the past where
they pick the worst ones.
Worst pose is the one they use on the art print.
Yeah.
Probably
trying to get people to use it. Like they've probably gone, yeah, it's the worst one. Let's do the print of that.
Yeah, this one's really nice. The actual colours are really well done. I mean, it's vibrant, it's nice, bright. Yeah. The flames are on there really
great job,
kind of lighting up. Normally, again, some of the XM prints can be a bit dull, a bit dark. Definitely one of the better ones. This actually belongs to Mike Wells, this piece, so he's actually letting us review it.
Love you, Mikey boy.
Yeah.
You also get your XM assembly guide, which is fantastic. Alex apparently didn't need to use this to put it together, which explains why the arm part was in the wrong, the armchair bit was in the wrong place. But you basically get all the parts there. So you get two heads, one with a light up mast switch out, which is there, and you have the human faced one where basically you can see his portrait
unmasked.
Yeah.
The human faced one.
Human faced one, and you get that, and you also get a switch out arm, which I actually switch out right arm, which is this one, which I actually prefer because I like both arms apart and him flying forward. Yeah, that's my personal preference.
Well, I put this pose up because it was actually
of course.
The pose in the picture.
So you get some really nice things here. You can see the detail of the cockpit. You know, he's diving through basically the window of the, what would you call it? The windscreen? Windscreen on a cockpit? Is it a windscreen? Is it a cock screen? What exactly is it? But he's jumping through there. You can see the alternative poses there. So you probably, what's that? You have like, how many variations is that? One with, you have a few.
I don't know because it's of the head as well, so it can be quite a lot.
It can turn it up, can't it? Okay, so you get all of those things, and
put it down, don't be shy.
Yeah.
All right, so basically the character Star-Lord, Peter Quill, he made his first appearance in Marvel Preview number 4, which was, I believe, in the 70s. Wasn't really that much of a pop.
Nothing's written down.
No, I haven't got written down.
Very impressed. I'm very impressed that you know all of this.
Yes, I mean,
usually it says milk, bread, Peter Quill.
Well, yeah, when we were shopping, I had my list on my hand. Yeah, but it wasn't really a hugely popular character for a long time, and you could actually pick up the first appearance really, really cheap for a long time. Then, obviously, Guardians of the Galaxy came out in
my favourite
2014, maybe. Or 12 or 14.
Still, what's your favourite?
No, but I'm saying
I think it's 14.
Yeah, so that came out then, and obviously that then catapulted the popularity of all of the Guardian characters. I mean, even Drax, who was, I think he's in one of the Tales of Suspense early ones, and then you got Rocket, who's in the Incredible Hulk. I can't remember the number on that one, but their first appearances were worth nothing at one point, and then all of a sudden they just catapulted into popularity, which is another reason why I am really shocked that this is only 350 because he is a real fan favourite character, even though he did fuck it all up in Infinity War.
Well, he just showed his love, didn't he? I mean, he was upset. Well, you know, he lost Gamora. He loved Gamora. What can you do? Spoiler.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the leader of the Guardians, isn't he? So he's like, you know, he's the boss, and he's pretty cool. I mean, I really like him, and I really like what's his name? What's the geezer's name that plays him?
Oh God, Chris Pratt.
I was going to go with Pine, and I knew it weren't right.
No.
I knew Pine's the Star Trek guy.
Yeah.
Chris Pine.
Yeah.
I like Chris Pine. But, you know, Chris Pratt did an amazing job playing him as well. He had a good bit of swagger, and I just liked it. I really liked it.
And he got in good shape for it.
Yeah,
because he's from there's a comedy called Parks and Recreation, and he's a bit chubby in that.
Yeah, of course.
And when he was announced to be like this Marvel superhero, everyone was a bit like, really? Chubby guy from Parks and Recreation?
Yeah,
really?
This guy, really.
But he got in good shape for it anyway.
Yeah, he did
a good job. Anyway, back to the piece. So what we do then is, I want to flick on the switch.
Do it.
Oh, no, wrong way.
There you go.
So, start going around. So on the base you have like it starts off with like a rock base. So the ship's basically crashed there. I don't think this is the Milano. I don't think it's that, but it's some kind of ship.
No, I don't think it is, because the Milano's got like a...
Milano's massive as well.
Yeah, and it's got like an orangey sort of outside paint thing, unless this is internal, which it could basically...
Well, the Milano's named after that woman from Commando.
Alicia Milano.
Yeah. That's Commando, isn't it? She's in.
She is in Commando.
Okay.
Jenny!
Daddy!
All your bastards!
Daddy!
Yeah.
Anyway,
you're not pulling off the daddy thing at all, by the way. That was a really creepy, croaky daddy there. Really not good. The colour scheme going round it is fantastic. You've got sort of like this sort of different shades of gold on the front of the actual craft. And then when we saw the prototype, this circular windscreen I'm going to go with. It was either that or cock screen. We're going with windscreen. The windscreen part was actually up here, and we did discuss actually saying about removing it because it made it sort of borderline undisplayable with just how wide.
Well, I think he was next to. You didn't see this, did you?
I saw it in London. It's the time I saw it.
Okay, because I think in Singapore it was like next to Hulk Transformation, and it was next to Groot. And I think because of the size of the windscreen and things, it made it look like a huge piece.
Yeah.
And it just made it look a bit too big.
Yeah, I totally
then especially when you need like...
There's negative space, isn't there, that you really should try to avoid, you know. I mean, I know that this comes out to here, but I mean, it was sort of coming up over to this sort of way. And with him lunging forward, it did make it deep as well as wide, which is just crazy. You can actually, Alex put this on wrong and actually had it upright, which didn't look too bad, to be brutally honest. I actually was quite impressed. So you could do that if you want to change the display a little bit.
Well, no, you can, because they're like, when they drive,
well, you could say
handles
are
like that.
Say they are, yeah.
And you can kind of like when they're steering.
It does fit into the key this way, but you can actually take that out and lift it and put it it's up, at 12 o'clock.
I would have...
That's how you did it, yeah. So it's got a particular key which makes it correct.
Yeah.
And you just obviously ignored completely and stuck it in the other way. But it's fine.
Been around saying too much, I think.
Yeah, you really have spent a little bit too much with their sort of way of doing things. But, then you've got those sort of, you've got the plasticky parts and the sort of, the glass bits or the shield that's going around it. And it looks crazy. I mean, it's really fantastic base-wise. When you start getting into the cockpit part, that's where really it sort of comes alive. The details on the chair and on the screen, you've got all these buttons everywhere and sort of bits and pieces. I think it's really, really cool.
When you actually get the piece, you do have, you have the base with the ship, you have the windscreen, you have the armrest here, and then you have the piece down here. This piece here was a little fiddly to get in there. You kind of had to get in the right angle to get the peg in. That one took me probably the longest to line up. On the actual instruction manual, it does tell you that the piece here on the front is an extra piece, but it seems like after the fact they've decided just to fit it. So that comes on there, but on the instruction manual it tells you to fit it.
Okay. Again, it's
something like where they've put the stuff
time
together and then realised.
Then they've done the book first, and then they've changed something, and the book's not been updated. Again, that needs fixing.
Yeah,
pronto, because it's just a communication thing you need to get done.
I'm not talking. It's there. No.
Yeah. It's got a numbered part, and that's actually fixed and on. So yeah, like Alex was saying, like how Alex did it.
No, sorry, that's me being an idiot.
Okay, so you can do it like that.
Sorry, yeah, no. On the instruction manual, the number 1 points to that piece, but it's not actually pointing to the piece. It's just pointing to the base in general.
Oh, okay.
So like, yeah. So sorry, that's
Tough, strong magnet there.
So like there, it says number 1, but there it's like number 1 pointing to that. Like looks like it's talking about that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I got you.
Sorry, I'll take that back. Sorry.
Take it back. Take it back.
Sorry, Ben.
Right, so then you start getting onto sort of the figure itself, the statue. I mean, it's actually really weighty, this and all, isn't it? Solid. It's heavy. It's like a heavy piece, really heavy.
I mean, most XM pieces are quite weighty anyway.
Yeah,
but
they're usually around about anywhere between 11 and 15 kilos as an average, isn't it?
And the figure of this one is solid.
I like the fact they went with the classic uniform as well. I'm really happy they did that.
Yeah. Well, if you have the group next to this as well, Rocket's wearing the same outfit as well.
Yeah,
perfect. So they do match.
That's what we want.
You go on. So you got the white parts are non-textured, so they got them there, and then you got these grey textured parts on the boots here, which are done really well to kind of break it up. And then he's got those kind of I don't know what they're called. Do you know where they go? The
like what the Joker has, doesn't it, on his shoes?
Yeah, I think we looked it up at the time though.
Yeah, probably.
But I can't remember what it is.
Never remember.
But it's something where it holds your socks in place.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, never
mind the two straps there going around your ankle and
but
your
it stops them riding up a bit.
Yeah. I mean, you got to look good when you're like,
yeah,
causing havoc in space.
And then you move into the piece. You got his is it Nova Corp outfit?
It looks like that, yeah.
Yeah. So he goes Nova Corp outfit. You got his
great texturing on paneling on that.
So you got
really
the great
good paneling.
The reds going down with the levers. You got the smooth of this part, the knee pads, and then you've got the texture on the inside of the leg and on the bottom there.
On the buttocks.
On the gluteus maximus.
Yeah, it's done really well. I mean, I really like the paneling. You've got a couple of different shades there. You've got sort of like almost like a darker grey, and then sort of a light bluey colour on the outside, which just looks great. You start moving your way up, and then you've got sort of the belt buckles and sort of pouches, and they're pretty cool.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Sorry, talking about the suit, what you were just saying is this is like the classic suit.
Yeah,
and a lot of the time with classic suits, they're really, really plain and basic on the comics. It's like the same as like someone like Galactus or someone like even Thanos, or those characters when they go with a classic outfit. To modernise them and keep it looking like the classic is quite hard to do, and this is done very, very well. But
it's like almost like what they did with Magneto, didn't they? They put a couple of textured bits in places, some panels in places, and it's a stunning job. The belt looks great. The pouches look fantastic. They're sitting nice.
Yeah.
The paintwork's super clean on it, up his chest, going into sort of, and he's got that paneling again going round sort of his up his sides, which just looks cool. It just breaks it. It just pulls your eye into like different directions, and it just doesn't look like boring and samey. The gloves and the arm parts are done really well going up the arm, and the
joins are very good.
Yeah, it's seamless as you put it in there, because then they've got them sort of flaring shoulder parts.
No, I was going to say pads, but shoulder flaps.
It's like shoulder flaps. Yeah, the gloves are really well textured, really well. Got these piercing, bright silver buckle things going around the outside of them. They look great. Fingers on the trigger. The guns are actually surprisingly pretty clean. They're pretty clean guns.
In the past there has been a few issues with someone like Winter Soldier. His finger actually sunk into the gun, where they sculpted it into it. This is done, very well. The paint from the gun to the actual glove has been separated very well. There's no bleed across onto the gun that I can see. Yeah. I agree totally with George. The kind of weathering and the grime on the gloves are done really, really good.
So they look like they're dirty-ish gloves, don't they?
They've been worn. No, it's driving gloves.
Like what happens with like thick leather gloves.
Yeah.
Like what I mean.
You get it in the crease
if they're not black, if they're not black gloves, they end up getting sort of.
It's like my sofa.
Yeah, exactly. Did it used to be black?
No, it was like this brown.
Yeah.
But then like when you sit, the more you sit on it, the creases go red. But because I only sit there, that bit's well red.
So the way this actually works with the light fixture, what you do is you take off the head, which I will gently because it's not mine. And what happens is the helmet comes off the top like so. It is.
Show the camera.
Sorry,
You're showing me.
I mean, I'm enjoying it myself. Yeah. Actually, you know, it's nice. The eyes are like translucent, like and the parts across the ridges of the mouth.
Grill.
The grill.
Yeah.
Good word.
Yeah.
Grill is like translucent.
Yeah.
You have the switch there, so you flip it on. That's it, and then you again put the helmet back on. It's magnetized, as you can see. There is a little bit of play in the helmet, but that's because it's actually a loose fit, so it doesn't scratch any of the paintwork.
I was a little concerned when I first put that on, but then once you put it on the piece, there's no issues.
And there we are. So that's on, yeah. So once it's on, that's the light up feature that's going across it. I actually really love that light up feature. Is it something I'm likely to use? Is it needed? No. Is it a fantastic extra to have? Yes.
I think it is a great extra to have, but personally, I would never use it at all.
Well, yeah, I'm the same. I've got plenty of light ups on pieces, and I barely ever touch them unless they're remote controlled.
The only one I ever use is because he's got a mains adapter, so that when I turn on my lights, the light goes on as well as my Guyver bust.
Yeah.
But other than that, because of the way these are,
we're not big touchers, are we? Though that's why. That's
the problem. If you have a piece and you got it enclosed in some kind of display, to take the head off, turn the switch, put that, I know why it's done this way. It's done this way, obviously, so that if I then, I bought this piece and the light up doesn't work, they can just send out a head.
Yeah.
And that's they don't have to send out a whole statue. So from a production point of view,
smart.
It's perfect.
It's the best way to do it.
I think moving forward, statue companies really need to adopt a remote, and they literally 100%. Will have a way, and mains as well. I think mains are personally for me much better. I hate batteries. I mean, these little batteries, they don't leak as much.
No.
It's very unlikely they will leak.
Yeah.
But if you have like AA batteries, the funny thing is the only AA batteries I've ever used that leak are Duracell.
Yeah, it's always Duracell.
It's always Duracell.
It's a premium shit. You buy the crap from Amazon. No, and the shit from
I nicked the pack from your house, right? It was
stealing from me, eh?
Okay, yeah. It was a big pack of IKEA ones.
Yeah, shit
right?
ones.
Yeah, they're shit. They didn't leak. They left them in there for ages.
They don't leak.
Yeah.
Never do. The Amazon crap batteries, you could buy loads of them for like £3, and they never do. You spend big money, they bust, man.
Anyway, but then I do think that, moving forward, I think that that's something that statue companies should look into as a remote option, because
you'd use it more. You'd stick it on.
100%. Or even if you had like an option of 30 minutes, give me 30 minutes of light, and you had a little timer in there, then you can kind of turn your lights on when you go in, and then obviously you appreciate when your friends come in or whatever, and then
or you're doing a review. You're doing like a room tour. People come around your house. Yeah, totally. So then you have that, and then I like it. The light up I really like. And then what we'll do is we'll just get this arm out gently. So that's the hand up. This is the pose. You want to look at the arm?
Yeah.
This is the pose I actually prefer, which is both guns down. I think that looks the shit. I love that. Look at that. That's wicked, that is. That's really nice.
I remember it wrong, because I remember him having two of the same gun, but I know it never happened. But
yeah, you would have thought, because it's the same gun in each, that right arm.
And I'm pretty sure I took everything out of the box.
No, I've checked it. I checked your work this time.
Yeah, I recommend you checking my work.
Dude, I really like that. I think they've done a fantastic job on that. That is a wicked piece.
I mean, that movement there looks great, but then also
it's just wicked. It's wide though.
Yeah,
makes it wide.
I mean, the displayability of this, I think. It's quite deep because obviously leaning forward, but then obviously with his arms out, it's wide. I mean, this Lazy Susan is a 45 centimetre Lazy Susan, so that's about
it's wider than that.
What's that? 12, 13, 14, about 15,
45.
15, 16.
It's about 14 inches, I would say 45. I would say 14 and a half, easy. I can tell you, where's the thing? Here you are. You say? 45, 45, yeah? 45? You're well right. It's much higher than that. It's actually 17 and a half, 45.
Oh, okay. Right.
So that's bigger than that. I think this is probably like maybe 18 inches, 19 inches wide.
Don't tell Michael, he's going to stress out. Michael won't stress out trying to figure out where he's going to put it. And then also moving along, so I hope this is done a 360 by now.
It's done a few.
Okay, good. Because it takes about 4 minutes to turn. And then you got the unmasked head, which George is convinced looks like Paul Rudd. I do think that...
It is the comic book version, so it's not the...
Yeah, but when they showed this in Singapore, there was a comment about it looking too much like Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
And because it's a comic book version, I think they had to tweak it to make it
I
look
think you're
less like him.
Yeah.
And now, it does look a bit like an older.
It looks more like it looks like the
because he's got his crow feet on there.
It looks a bit like that. I mean, it's definitely it's not Chris Pratt, that's for sure.
No,
I'm not getting that from it. And I remember seeing the prototype, and I remember thinking to myself, it does look a little bit like him.
I think, I'm pretty sure that was the case that originally. Do you want to put that on because you've been shouting at me today?
Well, you need to be told. Gentle does it.
All right.
Okay. So, is that right? That's got a bit of movement in there. Oh, that's why. Okay, so you got like the little lip around his collar over the back of the helmet, so you just be careful with that. Because the magnet will drag it and give it a little bit of a scratch if you're not careful.
They've always got quite good magnets in them anyway, so...
That's really cool.
What's that?
The unmasked is really cool.
It is really nice. I mean, personally,
It's not... Do you know, it's one of them things, again, it looks better on.
Yeah.
You know when you're like looking at it like that, you're like, it looks a bit like Paul Rudd, and then when I put it on there and it doesn't look like him at all now. I don't see it now.
No,
Looks cool, man.
It looks good. I think it's a very... I mean, like, one of the complaints in the past have been XM, like, faces, and people have complained about them, but I think this is a very strong face for them, a very good face.
That's been a complaint from years ago, man.
They've sorted it all out now, but I think that face is done really well. There's good skin tones on there. The lips look great. The eyes are great. They've got a little bit of gloss on the eye, and I think.
What do you not like?
Personally, I would use masked all the way.
All day, yeah.
If I was to be kind of like...
I want you to be critical, be as horrible as
you I mean, if I want to be critical about it...
It's Mike's piece, we don't give a shit.
I do think that sometimes, you could add a bit more shading and things onto rocks. Some of the rocks just look a bit dull, a bit boring. You're off camera now.
Sorry. Say again.
Well, no, I can go close. But no. So some of the rocks, I mean, you could use a bit of shading on the bit of there, add a bit more kind of depth of colours really on those. Possibly, I mean, I know it's a bit behind, but you could probably neaten up the cockpit a little bit. Some of the paint in there could be a bit more, a bit better. But overall, I think the figure's fantastic. The figure's done really, really well. I don't have any complaints about the figure personally. I think the ship is done really, really well. Maybe, as I say, just the rocks and a little bit extra in the cockpit.
They also use the same fucking colour for all their rocks, don't they?
Some of the lights, I think, like on the cockpit, could be a bit more vibrant to show that they're actually lights.
Yeah.
I know that it's probably crashed, so there's probably like shit everywhere, a little bit of dust everywhere. But I do think that if they're actual lights and maybe just add a little bit of vibrancy.
I mean, you could put clear resin. Little parts in there like what are in his eyes.
Yeah,
you could have that.
Yeah, but it's all about cost, isn't it?
But you could. I mean, you could do it. If you want it to look the shit, that's how it's going to look the shit, and there's no question.
And I guess one of the other
they always use this colour. I don't like this colour that they use. I'd like this to be lighter.
One of the other complaints, I guess, could be the fact that the window on here that's smashed is a bit clumpy and it's not clear. It's just like they could have done it like the Weapon X base a bit more, rather than this kind of thick blue,
Yeah, it's like a greyish sort of thing. Isn't it? Yeah, with it's got cracks and stuff on the inside of it, but again, I agree with Alex. It's not.
The colours of the.
If you'd have gone clear, if you'd have put clear resin in there and then put some bits in the lights as well.
It just takes up a little.
I think it lifts it massively. It turns into like tens.
But I guess as well, the other side of this is if you're kind of looking at the piece, they've just crashed on a planet and it's probably dark. So like the.
I mean, you can use that logic, but that logic only applies to saving costs. When you're talking about what looks better, 100%. Clear resin across there and a bit in the lights really, really lifts it.
Yeah.
Costs more, but lifts it.
Well, just more like on the Weapon X. Sort of like
I agree.
Some of the detailing on the Weapon X may be transferred across to the similar style here.
Agree.
So I've got hiccups.
Yeah?
I think so.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Overall, very nice though.
Overall, no. We're just clutching at straws here now. And
there's always improvements on
very
everything.
strong.
You can always improve.
All the armoured cabling's done really well here.
Yeah, that looks wicked.
The seat, the colours on the seat reminds me of the ship in.
Give me a score of 10.
Oh, don't do that.
I love that.
I like
I'd love to
the
do it to
seat
you. You
reminds-
never think to do it to me, so I just sit
The
back.
seat reminds me of the seat in like Star Wars. You know, Luke's spaceship seat, no?
Which one?
Or no, more his outfit. That colour.
Oh yeah, you mean
Red.
Red leader? Thank you, Red leader.
leader.
Red 5. Red 5. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he's got like that orangey
You've
sort
got a
of.
tape measure, or have you moved it
Yeah,
again?
I've got it here.
All right, so what we're going to do then is we will measure this.
Yeah, actually, let me do it.
I'm not going to give it. I don't do a score out of 10. I mean, I can't. It's hard because then it's always, especially when people watch it in 5 years. Because we get it where people watch some of our videos from 5 years ago and they're like,
Can't believe you said
I can't
that was a
believe
7.
You said that piece was better than this piece, and this piece is one of the best pieces you've seen. It's relative to the time we saw it a lot of the time,
course,
and you know, people take it out of context.
Stop the spinning thing, please, because it's very difficult to do. I put this on intentionally because
It's taller,
it's taller, yeah.
but then you might want to put it back on to get the width.
So in height terms is 22 inches, which is 56 centimeters.
That's not too bad in height then.
Very good.
You
Height,
might want to.
perfect. I'm going to go this way first, and then I'll do the long ways. I'm going to have to.
Well, do the depth because the depth's going to be the same.
Yeah, depth.
So it's
is
going to
the
be to his knee, isn't it?
yeah,
back
but
of the seat
from
knee.
back, is it that bit? It's that bit, isn't it? Because it's angled up. I think it is.
Yeah.
When you do the knee.
Or is it that rock?
Dude, is that it? That's not bad at all. I would say that's 14. I would say it's the back of his chair, and I would say it's around 14 inches.
Go back, keep going.
You think so?
Yeah, maybe like just under 15.
All right, let's just say 15 for shits and giggles. I'd say 38. Yeah, 38 centimeters.
Okay.
Potentially
not bad.
15.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
gives
yeah,
you
yeah.
quite a lot of play there. You know, and then we'll go width from here. So I'll go gun, and you go that way. Yeah.
What am I going?
Just across his
I
body.
don't really get the whole fucking tape measure. Damn. I feel over. Where are we going? I actually know that rock here. So it's about to that rock, probably about 16 and a half, 17. So about 42 to 43 centimeters.
Okay.
And then if you put the other gun on,
Yeah.
what is it? So it's matching that one like that.
Yeah. That's it. Go sort of backwards. Yeah, that's it. So
It's quite add a bit. I
Does.
don't like that way.
all right.
I don't like having the responsibility of it.
Yeah, it's 20. It's at least 20. So
That's still not bad.
I would say that's 51 to 52.
Right.
inches.
Well, that goes in the
Centimetres.
Vesta then.
Yeah, I
So
would,
Mike's all right then.
yeah, I think so.
Right, Mike's safe.
You're safe, Mike. You're okay. Don't worry. There you go.
Yeah. So
Mate,
yeah,
I
I
would,
mean,
I would be very happy with this if this was mine.
I think, as I say, I think that this is something that people should have picked up. I think
Mistake that.
Yeah.
350.
With
This
an
is a
edition
piece.
size of 350, they're going to be
low.
doing Guardians 3 soon, and
low.
with the kind of the main characters leaving, like Iron Man, Captain America,
Thor,
Thor's
potentially.
still around for a little bit, but he'll be gone soon. And I reckon that Peter Quill's parts will be bigger in the future movies. So
Yeah.
I do think that this piece is going to shoot up in value.
Yeah.
And whoever missed out, I think, is going to be a little upset about
Are
it.
you going to miss out in your pocket now?
I actually do think that I saw this in the con, and I thought it was bigger. I now we've measured this. It's still a big piece. It's a good sized piece, but it's not as big as I thought it was, and I thought it was deeper as well than that. That was why I didn't order it. God damn it! But I think if you've got this on order, you haven't
you've
got it
done
in
well.
yet, you're going to be very, very happy.
If you've got this and Rocket and Groot, you're laughing. Aren't you?
Yeah.
The only thing missing is Drax.
Well,
Yeah.
someone may be working on a Drax. I mean, there's bound to be a licensed one coming soon. There is a Gamora by Sideshow. There may be another one of those coming at some point.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. I'm sure that.
It'd be nice for someone to do Nebula as well.
Yeah, she's awesome.
In the original Infinity War, she's actually a massive part.
She's a huge part, yeah.
She's the turning point, really.
Yeah, she turned the tide.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
Anyway, yeah, if you haven't read the comics from 1993, then spoiler alert. Yeah. Anyway, so thanks guys. Thanks for watching. And let us know what you think about the piece. Let us know if you have the piece in and what you display it with, if you're going to get it in what you plan on displaying it with. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe, share.
Yeah, man, give Peter Quill a big green thumb. And hit that bell, become part of our notification squad so that you'll basically see any new content that comes up. You'll be notified immediately. Thanks very much. Peace.
Immediately.